Greetings and salutations, friends. Welcome to another video with me, Alexander James. And this video is more a reference for me to look back on in the future. And also, obviously, I hope it helps you in some way, shape, or form as well. So, today, just thinking about what I'm doing in relation to the multiple streams of revenue that I'm creating, the multiple systems that I'm putting in place to be able to sustain the businesses that I run as a whole, and to be creating, or to be able to create, and to create blueprints that allow you to replicate those systems. So, blueprints, if you're building a house, you're going to have drawings, right? At the start, you're going to have an architect. You're going to have an idea, right? Then you're going to have certain vision of that in your head. And then you're going to talk about that. And then you're going to find an architect and probably go back and forth with them multiple times on, or multiple architects, engineers, structural engineers, you know, all of the people that you would need to make that vision come true, but they would all be working off one thing, which is the blueprint, right? So they'd be working off a blueprint of how things should operate. They will have learned specific skill sets in their education, or, you know, through their experience, and education and through their experience, they'll have learned all of these different things that are going to help you to be able to build that house or build whatever you want to build. Now, how does this apply to business? How does this apply to building multiple streams of revenue for yourself? Well, as you think about doing something, you may have specific knowledge on something, or you may be the thinker. You may be the visionary, the one who says, hey, I've got this idea. I know what the end results looks like. I kind of know how to get there, but I don't have the skill sets needed in order to get there. And so in this situation, obviously, using people with specific skill sets is going to advance you much quicker, and therefore you're going to get to the destination that you want to much quicker. What do I mean by that? Well, if you don't have certain knowledge, because knowledge is power, then you're losing. If you don't take advantage of certain systems, then you're losing. If you don't have the blueprints, you are losing. But how do you win? That is by surrounding yourself with people, you've heard this millions of times, people who are already where you want to be. Or people who have already done what you set out, or what you're setting out, or what you want to do. So surrounding yourself with those people. Now, that's one way, right? But the blueprints, and this is what it's kind of going to be about this video, the blueprints is, as I was thinking about our businesses and the systems that we have in place today, and we were tweaking certain stuff, right? And what we came up with was very simple, right? Okay, this needs to be tweaked, that needs to be tweaked, but wait, we don't have certain knowledge, because nobody knows everything, right? We don't have certain knowledge in these spaces. Okay, what are we going to do? First, identifying the problem, figuring out, okay, who can help us with that, and then rapid action, finding those people and implementing them as quickly as possible within the business structure, right? And so what that allowed you to do is you basically are slotting these pieces in like a jigsaw puzzle that then enables your foundation to be much more solid, right? So I think of it, can't even talk today. I think about it as weaving strands, right? And the more strands you weave, let's say if it's hemp, the more strands you weave, the stronger the rope is going to get. It's the same thing as implementing these systems and putting them in place and building off this blueprint. Yeah, you can have a blueprint, but if you don't have those people in place to help you, you know, sustain that blueprint and build from that blueprint and work along with you over time and change maybe the drawings on the blueprint, or, you know, changing each little angle, stuff like that, then that's an issue, right? So you need to have those things in place. And so I thought, why not, while I was thinking about this, do a video on it, because it's really, really important. So for me, obviously the building of MonsterCon is extremely important, but the taking myself out of it is seriously important. So working on your business, not in your business, right? So when you work in your business, which I did for years, right, you run into trouble. And the issues you run into is it's unscalable. It's not scalable. You are one person. But when you put the systems in place, like for instance, initially when we had no WhatsApp chats in place, we had no friends, we had no friends went as well. So-called friends went by the wayside. But anyway, you know, when we had no WhatsApp chats in place, when we had no systems, when we didn't use Slack, when we didn't use any form of, autoresponders, when we didn't use all of these things that are really, really important, like for cold calling and, you know, all of that stuff. We didn't have any of these things. It was impossible for us to scale, but we also didn't have the knowledge around that. So what happened was we were forced through pain to grow very, very quickly. And then we started figuring out things really quick. So one of the things we started figuring out was implement stuff rapidly. So the minute you see a problem, identify it, okay, how do I solve it? Boom. And then solve it that moment. Not like, oh, I'll solve it in 4 days' time. No, like solve it right now. And so that allowed us to very, very quickly grow. Now putting those systems in place and then tweaking them to where they run on their own, right? So I think of it as one big circle. Then within that circle, they're all smaller circles. It's almost like the clock, you know, analogy where the clock is going around and all the different small wheels are moving in it, the cogs or whatever in the gears, or whatever you want to think about it as. They're all moving at different speeds and circles and all of that, but they're all integrating together in one to make that wheel go round. That is how it works. And that is how we scaled very, very quickly. So today I was sitting back and I was thinking, okay, there are certain parts of the business that aren't running as smoothly as I'd like them to be running. What do I need to do immediately? Okay, identify the problem, find those people, bring them in, test them out, check it out, tweak it, scale it, and then fit them into the other cogs that are moving so that the whole wheel moves as one. And that is where you win. And then the best thing is after that, you try and remove yourself out of that totally so that the whole thing is running, right? And so we are out of a lot of our business. Obviously, it would be stupid if we weren't looking at the things that go on in it, right? So you obviously have to oversee some stuff. But putting a C, you know, basically, what would I say? Like, you can be CEO, but like, you should still have, you know, managers there. You should still have people helping and looking at that stuff daily, because if you don't, you're going to lose long term. And so that's kind of what I was thinking about today. So the moral of the story with this one is, you know, initially we started out with nothing, then we gained the knowledge, then we implemented that knowledge, we did that stuff, we failed, falling forwards, you know, falling backwards, falling sideways, whatever. We stacked that knowledge. Compound stacking of knowledge created immense value through what we now knew, right? The knowledge we had, which we were able to sell, but then we couldn't scale that. So then we needed to bring people in, train them, right? And then basically from there, scale them up, and then the next part and the next part and the next part. And then what happens is eventually all these parts are moving. It's moving as one unit, and it's very, very productive, right? And it's producing something. What do you do then? Replicate it. Replicate it and do the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We couldn't scale MonsterCon. What do? Created a virtual assistant business, right, called hireavirtualassistantrightnow.com, brought in the virtual assistants, started using them within our own business. That worked so well. We translated that out, basically made it its own business, and used it for MonsterCon to help scale MonsterCon, but at the same time sold the services on the opposite side. So another example, YouTube Shorts, for example, right? Right now, we're like, yeah, it took us a while to get into it. We weren't really interested in it. Then we see the power of it. The difference is we're very, very quick to be able to scale that because we understand SEO, right? Search engine optimization. So in our case, someone else that was doing shorts, you know, they're not getting any hits. They might get 1,000. In our case, the businesses then we work for, we implement the shorts with the search engine optimization, which now gets them thousands and thousands of views. So being able to take something that you have, looking at something that's already being done and say, hey, okay, this is a tool. Shorts are a tool. Facebook is a tool. Instagram is a tool. YouTube is a tool. These are all tools just to grow your business. They're not your business in and of itself. No, they're just tools. So leveraging those tools. Same way with people. Leverage the people. Same way with network. Leverage the network. Connect. Leverage. Give value. Leverage other people's networks. You know, partnerships. So form partnerships, not just, hey, I'm going to do it on my own. No, like form these partnerships. Meet these people. Give them value. Hey, we could work on this and this. Great. You've got a team of people who already understand this and this. Fantastic. They fit really, really well with the people that we already have that understand this and this and this. Fantastic. Boom. You pull both of those circles into another circle. That's now moving, producing for you, bringing income. Boom, boom, boom. Take the income, putting it back into the business. Recycling. Boom, boom, boom. Next wheel spinning. Get your wheels spinning. Get your wheels spinning. They will start working for you. Send your dollars, your euros, your Bitcoin, your yen, whatever currency you operate in, send them out to work for you. Put them into your business, get them working, take your money out, then put it into investments, right? One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Get them spinning. Get them spinning you. Get them working for you. Understand what you're doing. Obviously, don't get wrecked, right? If you're in crypto, different stuff like that, you've got to understand, you know, market cycles, market terminology. You can never, you know, obviously charts, all of that stuff. You're never going to be able to fully call the top, but the point is that be prepared. Take profits on the way up. Don't get destroyed. Don't be like little Jimmy getting wrecked in the wind, you know. One of my favorite YouTubers, Crypto Kirby, says that often. Little Jimmy, you know, with his $20 stimmy. He thinks that he's going to, you know, save the world. Or he's going to become a billionaire. No, these are all tools. Crypto is a tool. Markets are tools. These are all tools for you to recycle your money. Now, the best part of this is what I love. Create the multiple streams of income, bring it back in, and then give. Make sure that you're able to give. If you can't give, what's the point in doing it, right? If you can't relax, what's the point in running businesses where you're running yourself into the ground? Take time, relax, think, work smarter, not harder. And all of these things together enable you to win long term, right? Really, it's all about happiness, right? You've got to be happy. If you're running multiple businesses and you're not happy, what's the point in running the multiple businesses? It's a waste of time. Waste of time, waste of energy, waste of effort. I've done it, you know, round the clock, working around the clock, and then nothing. Get nothing, not happy, depressed, burnt out, burnt up, burnt to cinders, like they say in Ireland. So, like, all of these things are really, really important for you to know. How do you recycle your money, you know? Like, move your business to a country that treats you better, right? If you're getting slammed in taxes somewhere, move it somewhere else. Figure out that system. The US system is a beautiful system, you know? Get your business running in an LLC. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. What you do after that? Basically, you know, obviously you write off all your stuff. At the end of the year, what's left over, you're paying in taxes. Create a 501c3 nonprofit. Create a charity. Funnel the money into the charity. Now use the charity to do good work. Do you understand? So knowledge is power. I didn't know any of this stuff starting out, you know, nothing, zero. Yet I was able to do it. Why? Because I had persistence, hard work, dedication, non-stop. The only thing I could think about, it's like when you want it more than you want to breathe, you're going to make it. When you want it that bad, not a person on this planet, nothing will stop you. Why? Because you are unstoppable. You are somebody who wants something. It's in your head. The determination is there, and you will get it. You will fall. There will be many times when you will fall, but you must persist. That has been a quick rundown of what's been in my head so that I can look back on it in time. You know, and that's pretty much it. They're my thoughts for today. I wish you well. If you're someone starting out, if you're someone that doesn't know any of, you know, anything about online business, anything about things that you want to do, know this, that I had nothing and I was able to start with nothing, and I was able to do something by learning the knowledge I learned and by implementing that knowledge and by never giving up. So, you know, if you think that, you know, you can't, I assure you that you can. I started out with affiliate marketing, trying to sell stuff for other people. Then I started working for other people. Then I started learning skill sets that produced income for me. Then I started continuing to invest that into myself through courses, through this, through that. All of these things, learning as I went, enjoying the journey. If you're not enjoying your journey, why are you doing it? Right? And that could almost contradict my path that I took, because I did not enjoy the journey for a long, long time. I was like, grind, do this, grind. But grinding eventually grinds you into the ground, right? So you have to be enjoying it. So, look at what's working in your business. Look at what skill sets you have, that you could use, because I guarantee you that most people watching this video, if not all, have skill sets or have talents and abilities that they just have not cultivated yet within themselves, right? You could be a really good artist, right? But if you haven't practiced, what are you going to do? What are you going to sell? You might say, oh, I don't want to sell my paintings, but maybe it's your duty and your obligation to paint because that's what you were called to do, yet you deny it all the time. And maybe that very thing that's within you, that when you translate it in through the work in your hands, you translate it into a piece of art and you show it to someone, they're like, I want to buy it. I'll buy it for 20 grand. There is your answer, And so anyway, all of these things, like, we have the abilities, we have the talents within us. If we don't have those specific ones to help us get to the goal that we want to get to, then we can find people that have those skill sets and those abilities, and then we can leverage them within our business, within our projects, within our, whatever it is we want to do. We can leverage them, and then we can produce what is in the vision in your mind. But you also have to know that if it's in here, if you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand, right? Bob Proctor always says that. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. You first see the vision in your head, then you take action upon that massively, and you then walk into it, right? I'm going to quote Conor McGregor here actually as well. So when he started out, right, he was on social welfare and, whatever, not a lot of money, right? And his father telling him that, hey, you gotta, you should get a job, you should stay plumbing. And he's like, I don't like that. That's not what I want to do. Because the thing inside him that was burning him from the inside out was telling him, Conor, you are not a plumber, you are a fighter. This is what you're supposed to do. This is your path. And so he followed that. Anybody who said anything different, he did not listen to. He even was so much in that vision that he lived in that vision, no matter what the outside circumstances said around him. That is where you must live. That is where you must live. Live in that vision. Live in the new house mentally until it takes shape or form around you physically. It says it in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Live in the new house mentally until it takes shape or form around you physically. The earth and everything in it, the clouds, everything, is plastic to your thought. Who said that? Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox said that in Sermon on the Mount. Start reading this stuff. Start educating yourself. Start getting happy. The happier you become. Take a chance in life. The happier you become, right? Take chances in life. Don't sit back and be like, if you do, that's your fault. Know that it is your fault. It is nobody else's fault except your fault. Right? Yes, there are certain things that can hinder you doing certain things. But if you're not doing it, then you're not doing it. If you're not persisting, then you're not persisting. If you're not taking action, then you're not taking action. And you can go on social media and you can look at this and that person has this, and look at the person across the road and they've got a great house and they've got a great life. Most people, right, are not happy. Walking around the place, they're not happy. They put on a front on the outside, I'm very happy, but they're not happy. Why not just try and get happy? Try and pick one or two things today and say, okay, I'm going to take this thing, and for the next month, I'm going to do this. For the next 6 months, commit. Have a commitment for the next 6 months to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to build a business. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to spend, as many hours a day as I can learning. How do I get this? How do I set up this LLC? How do I set up this charity? Is there a point in me setting up this charity in this country? Is it better to do it here? Who can I get who knows about that? Who has done that? Who can help me do this? All of these things you have to do if you want to get somewhere. Do you want to sit 10 years time, 20 years time from now and look back and say, hey, you know, I didn't do that. I should have done that. And then you look around at people who were also in the same position you were, but they took action and they built a multi-billion-dollar business. Or it doesn't have to be a multi-billion-dollar business. Or they got happy. They got free. They're no longer stuck in the 9 to 5, right? They've got a nice car, or they've got a camper van that they now travel around the world. They've created some freedom. They maybe learned how to do some design online. They just use their camper van, they travel around and they do their design. They're not millionaires, but they're seriously happy. It's not about the money, it's about being happy. All the money in the world, and you've heard it multiple times, all the money in the world will not solve your problems. It can make stuff easier, 100%, right? I'd rather have it than not have it, but at the same time, happiness, health. You can walk, talk, speak, see, and hear today. Health. Your health is your wealth. Another cliche. Oh, your health is your wealth. It is. It is. If you can't walk today, if you can't see, that's a problem, right? There are things that we take for granted. There are things that I hope with this message to give to you that you don't take for granted. Thank God for your health every day. If you don't believe in God, I don't know, whatever. I don't know, right? But for me, I thank God every day for my health. I thank God for my life. I thank God that I'm able to walk, speak, see, and hear. Walk, talk, speak, see, and hear. I thank God that He gave me the persistence to move forward, right? To keep going. And obviously there's some part on you as well. God's not going to do everything for you, right? No one's going to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's on you. And so if you're complaining today, if you're thinking about, you know, this guy in this camera right here is ranting and talking a load of shit, then that's okay too. I invite you to skip along, move along. This message obviously doesn't resonate with you yet, and that's okay. That is okay. But if it does resonate with you, then take action. Build, go, do, see, fuck up, fail, try. At least you tried, right? At least you then tried. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my rant over for this afternoon, thinking about all of the things that, you know, have happened and stuff like that. I'll continue to put systems in place. I'll continue to grind. I'll continue to do that till the day that I die. Why? Because I love it. Discipline is, and this is something I was scanning through Instagram recently, and Mike Tyson had you know, a thing with Joe Rogan there, you know, on the podcast or whatever, and he said, you know, Joe said, so what's discipline mean to you? And Mike said to him, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it, right? So discipline is doing what you hate daily, every second, every minute of every day, but doing it like you love it. Now, that doesn't mean that you should just continue in that cycle. No, it means that you got to get out and figure out other things as well. But if you're in a job today and that job's not suiting you, and you know that it's not suiting you, and you know that it's a dead-end job, get out of the job. Go do something else. Go find something that you hate to do, but you know it's going to make you better, and do that, even though you hate it like you love it. What's going to happen then is you're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to have a breakthrough. Eventually, it's the same as a market crash and a market cycle. It retests, and eventually, boom, it breaks through, right? It breaks out. And it comes back down, it does another little thing, and boom, it breaks out again. Then it comes back down, it does another little thing. It's like life, right? We break through, we hit a plateau, we fall down a bit, boom, we break through again. We might hit some resistance, we come back down, boom, we break through it again. You're breaking through. New level, new devil. That's what they say in recovery, right? New level, new devil. You're leveling up, leveling up, leveling up. Like Super Mario. Ba-ping, ba-ping, ba-ping. Super Mario. You're leveling up, getting to the next level. Your emotional stuff, the next layer of the onion, you're peeling back. You're dealing with the shit in your life. You know, you're dealing with the stuff from your childhood or whatever. Next layer of the onion. Next layer of the onion. Next layer of the onion. It unfolds. Life unfolds. You become happy. You get free. And then you go, as well, along with doing that, help other people. Help them. Because without doing that, you have nothing. You're not being of service. Service is key. Doing all of these things, having multifaceted life, right? Or if you're in recovery or something like that, a multifaceted recovery, not just one area, every area, all encompassing, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, you know, business, this, that, all of the things together. And if you can get them all right in one go, great. But there's always going to be one area that you need to work on more. That is it. I wish you well. Much love, peace and light. Until the next one.